and many more nights to come. Let's listen to the story of Motoby as he begins his arrival at the deserted island. Motoby was born in Tanzania. From a very young age he was abandoned by his family, as they couldn't afford to keep him. He was left wrapped up in clothes and dropped off to the neighbouring tribes. His early life he moved from tribe to tribe, not understanding the language. He was basically a castaway, which he ended up on a boat full of refugees. But on this boat he learnt plenty of life lessons, including how to speak English, take care of himself, be self-sufficient, so once he got on the island he was ready to go. Motoby had to learn to survive with the help of the old wise man Mogombo. Mogombo taught Motoby everything he knows today. Mogombo would day in and day out, night out, teach Motoby the skills he needed to survive, including how to read the sun and moon directions, to understand the time of the day, which also helped him read the tides of the sea, when it was low tide and when it was high tide. This would come handy in Motoby's future, but his present state he was enjoying having a friend. He would preach about the stars in the sky, being our ancient ancestors, watching from above to make sure we were safe and prosper in life. Mogombo could see himself in the young Motoby as he fell asleep listening to his story. Don't worry, Motoby, plenty more nights to learn to come. As you imagine the stars above you tonight, I want you to think of a great memory you had in your childhood, which made a life-changing step, journey that helped shape you to the person you are today. I will return shortly with more of the Motoby story. As you think about your amazing life-changing moment you had when in your childhood, let's return to the story. Motoby was sleeping peacefully, just like you, but always woke up before sunrise so he could watch all the men around him catch their food for the day. Everyone had different ways to catch fish. Some used fishing rods, some used fishing lines only. Others made little dinghies or canoes which they used either to spread a net, use man-made spear weapons, or to dive straight into the sea to catch their fish. As the days grew on, turning into weeks, into months, the boat of 500 people dwindled down to 100 people. Only the fittest and most resourceful had survived up to this point. Mogombo taught Motoby how to trade, often using rocks, sands, shells, whatever he could find. In the low tide he would trade these resources, items for food, water and clothing, anything to keep him warm in the harsh winter nights. He didn't overeat and shared with Mogombo and his friends. Motoby would remember these times well. Once he went to his solitude, Mogombo one night was showing Motoby how to count using the stars. 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars. Aren't the stars so magical? They're not only looking after us, they sparkle in the night sky, being bright yellow of different shapes and sizes. You can imagine jumping from star to star, floating through the night sky, like a Pegasus flying through so majestically, or an astronaut jumping from star to star with no gravity, floating on air. Imagine this feeling now as we will return shortly for the final enchanting chapter of this first episode. I hope you are still floating high into the sky as you sleep tonight. If you are still awake, let's continue our story of Motoby. Some of the winter nights were so cold, Mogombo showed Motoby how to light fires. They had to be very careful not to burn the boat down, but they managed to keep a small fire going throughout the night with everyone having turns, watching the fire. This fire was used also to cook dinners, boil water, make breakfast and lunch. Very important tool to have, which Motoby would need very shortly. Mogombo was always very courteous, helping others but also enabling them to do it instead of just doing it for them. Mogombo would teach the skill and it was up to the student whether to master it or lose it. Motoby was very good at surviving. Wanting to survive, he gravitated towards Mogombo, and this was meant to be. The art of being self-sufficient, Motoby had to learn how to master tying ropes, using bamboo, clothes together, washing clothes, drying clothes, making fires, tools to make things with trading, swimming, counting, reading, exploring, keeping fit, mind exercises, and so much more. Mogombo gave Motoby the tools to survive even the toughest terrain. On one fateful night, the biggest storm took over the sea, thunder and lightning making loud noises in the background. There would be no fires tonight, as the pouring rain drenched everybody on board. The waves were pounding from side to side of the boat, moving the boat left and right, up and down, in all different directions, when the big crack could be heard as the front of the ship hit the rocks, and another sound was a lightning strike that split the boat in two. Mogombo was on one side of the ship and Motoby was on the other side. "Goodbye, my friend. Remember to follow your own path. You are the horizon to the sun. You give the light for the flowers to grow. You give love to all, and you will have abundance. Respect the earth, and will give you all the tools you need to survive." Motoby replied, "I'll never forget you, Mogombo." As Mogombo's side of the boat went into the water, Motoby began to cry as he was heading towards the water below, when a huge wave hit the back of the sinking boat, and the boat began to fly higher and higher into the air, as we have got bigger and bigger until the boat begins to roll on its own, and it makes the waves crashing back down to earth. Will Motoby survive? You'll have to return for the second episode to find out. Remember to subscribe to the channel and push the like button so Motoby returns in one piece. Thank you for listening tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed the story of Motoby, and we will return to listen to the entire series. Mogombo has one final thought to say tonight. "I'd like to wish you prosperous life. You are truly amazing. You are the gift that keeps giving. Don't waste your gift. If you sing to many people, make them happy, not to be the richest person on earth. Cook so others taste the love and joy you bring to your cooking. Paint to spread the love of art all around the world. Shoemakers to make the best shoes that make a changing life for someone else. Do amazing things, my friends, to change the world. And the world will be a better place. Thank you, and bless you all. Sweet dreams, sweet dreams, sweet dreams.